Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show of Survivalist. What we're going to do today is we are going real into depth into the survival of winter. Now, the best thing you can do is you can have your lighter and your fire stick. Did they say fire stick? Oh, I was supposed to say something else. Oh yeah, fire rod. Fire rod, and you're supposed to have them candles in your backpack and everything else. Now, don't forget, you gotta have your gloves. Now, your gloves is like, well, it's kind of like you and your girlfriend at night, you know. I mean, they just fit like a glove, you know what I mean? So, let's get right into it. Alright, guys, enough of the intro. We're gonna get into kind of the actual in-depth into what is your basic, basically your basic, if I haven't said that enough. We're going to go all in super basic winter emergency kit. Now, some of these things I might forget to say, or some things, not everything's perfect. You can build this out yourself. A lighter, a candle, whatever that is that you think is emergency. I'm not going to mention every little nitty-gritty detail, but I'm going to mention kind of the bulk of everything. Well, first of all, in the wintertime, if you live in a state where you get a lot of snow, let's say you fall into the ditch, and, well, a lot of other people fall in the ditch. And help is on its way, but it's taking, say, 5, 6, 8, a lot of hours to get there. You're going to have something that substantial that keeps you going for a little while. And don't think this didn't happen. This happened quite often. So first of all, you got to have some sort of a kit in case of an emergency. So let's get right into it. The biggest thing is, well, you got to have heat. Obviously, your car has heat, but once that gas runs out, well, what are you going to do? First of all, you're going to have, well, if it's like a glove sort of scenario, you got to have something that's going to be, well, actually really usable, such as a pair of gloves or mittens. Which one you prefer, I prefer both, because, well, first of all, I can hand another pair to somebody that doesn't have some, or one gets wet, I use another. Another thing is always having extra socks. You can't never have enough of these. You just never can have enough of those. Some sort of heating system, a buddy heater, such as a buddy heater, well, it's literally your buddy. It actually works exactly the way you need it to be in a case scenario where you might just need it. So the next thing you're going to need is, well, a potential worst case scenario. You have to stay the night. If you're getting hungry, you might want to break out your snack bars. Make sure they're the higher calorie ones, and they will actually be really sustaining you for a decent amount of time. If you're really, really cold, you can break out a can and use your military can opener and use that as well. If you can't see what you're doing, let's say that you want to conserve electricity, or gas, and the gas car is not electric, you can use your electric flashlight. It is actually pretty important to use a headlight because you can do everything else with your hands in low lighting. But anyways, the next thing you're going to want to do, obviously with eating that can of soup, you're going to, well, need a spoon for that can of soup. It's very important that you use, say, a pretty important, utilities for getting down into that can. So the next thing you're going to want to use is obviously, well, I'm kind of going backwards here, but you use your canister, you use the attachment that goes with it, and it's very important. Where is that thingy anyway? The attachment that goes on there, I really want to show you it because it is pretty important. Here it is. It is actually one of the best options you can use. It's very, very mobile. It's very, very small. You just put it in there, put it on your canister, and voila, and you're done. Talking about the cold and things on your head, such as a headlight, and as well as gloves, footwear, handwear, and, well, you need headwear. First of all, a hoodie is not going to do you justice when you're out in the freezing cold. You've got to have some sort of, well, one of these. Now these can actually come in big, really good scenarios for when it's actually really windy and it's really, really cold. Now you can have the thin ones thick ones, it's all a personal preference. But when you're shoveling away and it's really, really cold or there's a blizzard, you might want to put some goggles on. I haven't done that. I haven't put it in this kit just yet. So we might just want to do that. That all being said, having the importance of having some sort of personal wear is actually pretty important, well, when it comes to emergencies. Let's talk about some of the other things that you can use. Well, obviously you have your heater, you have your light, you have your soup, and your food, and, well, what else do you need? Well, a sleeping bag and a shovel. That's pretty much else what you need when it comes to the absolute bare bones basics. Now, you don't really have to have a buddy heater, but unless if you have a buddy to heat you up, then you don't need this. Am I right? Just kidding. A buddy heater is actually, well, it's a buddy when you don't have a buddy. So anyway, I think it's pretty important that you have some sort of headwear, handwear, and footwear. Sometimes if you're in a really weird situation, I don't ever really find myself in a bad situation unless somebody falls through the ice, you toss them a rope, and hopefully pull them out just fine. Unless if you're on the ice as well. So you can get down from a emergency situation where you're really, really bad situation. I know rope comes in a lot of pretty handy situations when you either on a chairlift or whatever, and there's a storm coming upon you for whatever reason. I don't know. Use your imagination and yeah, stay warm with your buddy. We'll see you next time.